Hello everybody, welcome back to round 14 of the LOR Championship, and we are here at Brazil. So interesting final round of the season, and let's see how it goes. And unfortunately we've only got 12 drivers here tonight, midday, sorry. So that's very interesting to see why we've got 12 drivers. We should usually have more than this, but we're just waiting and waiting and waiting. So it actually starts at 1:05, but I started the stream a little bit early because I didn't know, so apologies about that. But we'll just stay here, and hopefully we get some more people joining sooner. We usually have a full round of 20 drivers. We're just waiting for everybody to join in. Welcome to the 3 people that are watching. If anyone wants to drive in the chat, let me know your PSN and I'll invite you. I thought there'd be like 20 drivers today, but fortunately we've only got 12, so what's happened there? I did start the stream a little bit early, so we have to wait for a few minutes. Oh yeah. If you hear me coughing throughout the stream, apologies about that one. I've been coughing all week, and I was coughing yesterday in another stream. And hello Jonathan, I'm good, thank you. And how are you? Would say hello, hello Evo, how are you? Nice to see you here. Not been a long time since I spoke to you. If you do hear me cough throughout the stream, then yeah, apologies about that. Been coughing all week and I'm feeling a bit ill, and I don't have the coronavirus. Any more seats in this league? Message V8 Field, mate. I'll show you his PSN. Where is it? There he is. Message V8 Field on Discord or on PS messages himself. I'm sure he'll reply on PS messages. Good to hear. He's in the YouTube comment section at the moment, so make sure you give a message there if you want to talk to him again in this league. Like the past few races, we've had a majority of the drivers, been 20 of them. There's been 20 drivers in this league. Only 14 have turned up. I wonder why. William wants to join him as well, V8. We'll give it a couple more minutes for the drivers to join. Do you know what? 20 drivers turning up for the past few weeks. I didn't expect that because it is midday, and I don't really think people like to race midday, but I think most leagues have loads of them turning up when it's like 8 o'clock or something late at night, so when they're doing nothing. But this league did start at 12 o'clock, but it got pushed to 1 hour forward at 1 o'clock. Cat named Minty is here. Welcome, Cat named Minty. Game attack. I invited you, Harry. Apologies, sir, I don't do the best of my performance today. Like I told you earlier, I am feeling a bit ill. Oh, hello Gavin, how are you? Not too bad, I'm doing alright. Without the cough, I'll be doing just fine, thank you. Shame really, I thought they'll have more than 15 drivers, but that's how it goes sometimes. I don't know if it's supposed to ready up or not. It is 1:05, and that's when the driver got told to ready up. BJ is joining during qualifying. Sure you spelled it right? Got the name invite. Yeah, make sure you spell it right. It has a deco 99. I cannot invite anybody because I'm in spectator mode and I can't do that. One of the drivers are gonna have to invite him. I can't do it. Let's see what the weather's like in Brazil then here today. Hopefully it's nice and dry. Hopefully we don't see any rain. Look at that. It is morning. Looks like it's morning in Brazil. Don't think it'll affect the drivers too much, but in terms of the temperatures and tyres, we shall find out soon. Not much grip generated in the track. And we are in qualifying then. Let's see who comes out first. Welcome EVR Sam. Welcome back Jonathan Cox. Welcome Cat Day Minty. Welcome Brid YouTube. Hope you're all doing good today, and then we just do something before I read the comments out again. I can hear the engines fired up and we are ready to go soon. Right, there we can see a Ferrari coming out, and who else is that coming out? I didn't really see. I think, is that the Renault? We'll have a find out soon. Is that Gavin? Yeah, it is Gavin. There he is, and in the Renault. I think that's his favourite car, and Hazard Deco has joined through midway qualifying. I used to race with him a long time ago. Me and him had a championship fight, and it was quite good as well. Hopefully, we've not raced with each other for a long time, so I wonder how his pace is like now. A track like Brazil always left the session. I don't know if he's having lagging issues. He did have them lagging issues when I used to race with him. Hopefully it sorted itself out. Track like this, I do enjoy driving around it. It's a nice track. Sometimes you can make a few mistakes. Sometimes turn 1, 2 and 3 you can invalidate, or in race terms you can get warnings to get so many penalties, and that's rather frustrating because it could ruin your race. With Gavin running no traction with Gavin running no traction control, as you can tell, I'm not really feeling well. As Gavin running no traction control, let's see how he does as he comes towards the first corner, breaks the 150 meter board. Want to take a late apex through turn 1, take the most of the curb. He's invalidated, don't take too much curb through turn 2, and that's his invalidation, and that's rather frustrated him. Who else is out there then? The Ferrari. Rika's got out wide through turn 1, that's going to compromise him to turn 2 and turn 3, so that's already his lap ruined. It's really crucial to get a good turn 1, turn 2 and turn 3 to set yourself up on your lap, and he's going board with the Ferrari. Is that sector? He's also invalidated, so get some invalidations early part of this qualifying, and the next guy to go on their lap, well, I think Cat Name Minty is on his out lap, so no worries there. So I think it's Yost who's on his flying lap. There he is. He's also invalidated, so quite a few drivers invalidated their lap time, but I wonder, he's almost spun as well. I wonder if that has just distracted them just a wee bit there. that Haas is not on a lap time because he made a mistake through turn 1, turn 2 and turn 3. So quite a few invalidations kicking in for these drivers. Sam's also, it doesn't matter, he's on his out lap. Patrick then, we'll go on board with him. Do the right hander, here we go. And brake soon as the curb starts developing. Take load of the curb and take the tightest line through here. He's got Elting ahead of him. Hopefully Elting gets out of the way, which he does. As soon as the curb starts opening up, that's when you start applying the brakes. First gear for the extra rotation, and the fastest lap goes to Rika with a 1:12.3. But Patrick had a little bit of a tag slapper coming out of there as he comes towards Judsao. Short shifted as Ireland goes quickest with a 1:08.3. The Renault driver set some decent pace already in qualified. Jonathan Cox in second place in the Haas, a 1:08.8 for him. Let's see where Patrick goes as he made a mistake on that flying lap. It's a 9.3 for him. He's ahead of his teammate Catboy Kai, who also set a 10.0. Altic on another lap, but he locks up in turn 1, compromises himself in turn 2 and turn 3. You get a slipstream off Patrick, which he nicely has, as we've got yellow flags in sector 2, but I don't think it'll affect the drivers too much as Altic goes quickest in the first sector apparently. Don't know if that's true or not, but we'll find out. Don't take too much of that curb there because it will suck you in the track and it'll put you in the wall. Turn at the 50-meter board. And he's got out wide and he's invalidated his lap time as well. You need to keep the throttle pin there and use the downforce of the car to make your way through that right hander. Rika, he's going for his another lap. It's a 9.8 as 9.9 as he crosses the line to go up into 4th place. EVR Sam is invalidated, but I think he might be going for another lap. Carlsberry, there's Carlsberry, will get a decent tow off the car ahead of him, but the car pulls into the pits. And he will come across the line to set a 1:08.8 in the Alfa Romeo. Who's the next boy to cross the line? Is Patrick is not. Catboy Kai's in the pits. Brins are validated. So was Elting. Elting's going to go for another lap. EVR Sam, purple to the first sector apparently, but I don't think that's true. 60.6. I don't know what lap times they should be setting through the first sector. As V8 Field ahead of him, hopefully he gets out of the way, but Sam's invalidated his lap time. Possibly a little bit of a distraction from V8 Field. Yost is going to go for another lap. He's on his out lap. V8 Field, cat named Minty. He's going to go out. He's going to have another invalidation again. These invalidations are strict, aren't they? That's really hurting the driver in terms of their lap times. Really putting the drivers down with their invalidations. It must be frustrating them as well. Not really getting the best of luck in this on this track. Who else is on their lap time? Bridge just invalidated his medium run. Elting's invalidated again. Ooh, looks like so I'm almost at the back of the Haas there. Yost is going to go for his lap as he enters turn 1, taking late apex to turn 1. Now coming through turn 2, now into turn 3. Nicely done from Yost. Well executed through those corners. Coming to this short straight here. Now coming down into turn 4, breaking the 75 meter board. Take a late apex through there. Lean your car out on the outside curb. Take the tightest line through there. Now comes the long right hander here. Bring it down into 4th, 5th to get the extra rotation of the car. He's going to invalidate. Yes, he is. And that's rather ruined his lap time. Sector then down in 15th place going for another lap. What about Carlsberg? Where is he? He's out there somewhere on track. He's invalidated his lap time. Loads of invalidations coming in. I wonder if these drivers have been practicing or not. Activated his DRS a little bit late, did Sector. We're going to have 17 drivers in this session then because Harry Deacon and Jordan Polska has joined the session. Coming in this long right hander. Make sure you don't drift out too wide to get an invalidation. It's close enough through there. You don't want to drift out wide through here either. Bring it down into first gear to get the extra rotation. Make sure you short shift to minimise that wheel spin on the exit. And he's invalidated and he almost lost the car as well. I don't know what lap time he could have set, but that's rather ruined it for him. Jonathan Cox is on his flying lap again. Managed not to invalidate it on his first one, unlike some others. We can see what he can do on his lap time as he heads towards the end of the first sector. He's improved by a 10th on his personal best lap time. Just need to keep it nice and tidy on the 4th sector 2, which is one of the most difficult parts of the track. Turn 1, 2 and 3. I don't think it's difficult. I think you just misjudge it and you go slightly off the track to causing yourself an invalidation, which is rather frustrating for the drivers. And I think, oh, I wasn't looking at the screen there. I thought Jonathan invalidated his lap time. Now I read out the comment as well if I can get back on the YouTube app, if it lets me. Okay, I did get timed out by myself. I got kicked out of the YouTube thing. Alan sets another fastest lap at 108.0, getting closer to the 7, so the Dutch driver sets some decent pace as Jonathan Cox will go up into second place at 108.2. Jonathan Cox has some really nice pace around here. I raced with him in a couple of leagues and he set some decent pace. There is Patrick on his flying lap as well. We've got some drivers coming out of the pits. Who's closer to the line? Sam's had a little bit of a mistake and he's lost part of his front wing, so I wonder if he dropped it on the curb at turn 3. Quite easy to do. If you go on the curve too much, you can drop the rear end and put yourself in the wall. So hopefully that hasn't affected him whatsoever. It has affected him, but mentally I don't know. A massive 6/10 up on his flying lap time, as I'll read the comments out for you. Let's go, Jonathan. Hello there. Yes, cars are equal, Harry. As 108.7, Patrick is up into third place. The cars are equal. I don't really like being a league with realistic cars. It's not fun at all. I've experienced being in a league with realistic cars and it's just frustrating really. Just be put down in the midfield and not be able to get up into first place. Harry, this league is like nothing to do like with Pro Europeans. You don't have to buy cars, you don't have to realistic cars, you don't have to pay for them, you just drive freely, that's all it is. As Gavin goes up into third place, a 108.6 for him in the Renault, so both Renaults up there in top 3. This league is nothing like the other leagues you've experienced, Harry. You don't have to buy the cars, you don't have to go on the website to purchase your cars, you don't have to do any of that shit whatsoever. You could just drive here freely without having to do anything, just sign up as normal. I know you've been in a league where you have to be in realistic cars and do a good performance to keep your seat effectively, but in this league you don't have to fight to keep your seat. All you have to do is just have a nice drive around here, just drive cleanly and you're all sorted. As Shabby 2K comes across the line up into 4th place, not too far off Gavin, both in the 8.6s. Carlsberry getting hold up by Catboy Minty, but I think, is that his flying lap? I did see his second sector, he was 5 seconds down, so I don't know if he get hold up by Cat named Minty or whatsoever. But yeah, I think he's going for his flying lap time. Catboy Kai is also going for his flying lap time as he heads towards turn 1, 2 and 3. Go on board with Yost then, he's also having difficulty setting his flying lap time. Hopefully he doesn't invalidate it. He might do. Oh, that's a shame, he invalidates it again. He's having troubles through that corner, is Yost. He's going too out wide and possibly carrying too much speed. Has he got the downforce to carry that speed through the corners there? Depending on what setup he's running, a low downforce, a high downforce, but straight line speed does matter around here as well. Catboy Kai also invalidates it, so does Cosmo. So those two invalidated it at the exact same place as Yost did. I'm just trying to figure out who's on their flying lap. Looks like Alan's on his out lap, which he is. Shabby 2K is coming in the pits. Carlsberry's out there, but not on a representative lap time. You're not raced for a couple of months. Hello Yuri, how are you mate? You're not raced for a couple of months. Nice to see you back racing, Harry. Hopefully you're more pumped up for racing than Pro Europeans, because that was a shocker of a league. BJ's joined as expected through midway of qualifying, so 18 drivers turning up here tonight. I need to stop saying that because I usually commentate for night league races. I meant midday. We're on board with Eltic as he executes his way through turn 1, 2 and 3. Don't get on the curb too much there at turn 3 because he will suck you in and off the track. We might saw Sam doing that. Probably dropped it on the exit at turn 3. Purple through the first sector apparently. I did yesterday my first race with ABS off. Nice one mate, good to see that. Tell me about it, it was a bad league. How are you doing today? I'm not doing too bad, thank you. With this cough, I've been having this cough for a few days. Hopefully it's not the corona. Don't think it is, because if I did have the corona I'll have more symptoms. Pop it up as he picked up way too much speed at the exit of that corner, and Elting has ruined that lap time. and you have to go through it again. He's got plenty of time to go for another lap time. But finally, Joost has finally got a lap time. Second place in 8.2. Jonathan Cox is going for his lap time again. He's got Bryn YouTube right behind him as Patrick gets nicely out of the way. Probably a little bit of distraction, but nevertheless he gets out of the way. This time Bryn doesn't go out wide as Elting's back in the pits. As Alan Ward's on the pace today, isn't he? Look at that, an 7.9 for him. Yeah, and we're getting towards the 7s as Sam crosses the line and he's up into 5th place at 8.6. Probably the same pace with Gavin as well, just a few thousandths off Gavin. Go on board with Bryn, he's a 1 second up, but that was on his medium. His best lap time was on the mediums. As who's just gone up a place? Sector has gone up into 4th place and 8.4 in the Ferrari. And where can the Williams driver place his car as he comes to cross the line? It will be at 8.7 for him, and he's down in 9th place. Unfortunately, Elting and V8 Field have not set their lap times. There he is, but again he's invalidated, so he's having difficulties around his track in validating his lap time. It is a difficult track as well, not too difficult, but if you go out too wide, if you cut the corners, then yeah, it's rather frustrating to get yourself around. I was fighting for the lead and Nav spun me when I wanted to overtake him. Damn it, your own teammate spinning you around. Just trying to figure out who's on their possible last flying lap time as Gavin heads towards John Sal. Seen plenty of things happen there before with Timo Glock and Lewis Hamilton and Pierre Gasly and Lewis Hamilton, to where he won his championship, of course. Lewis Hamilton back in 2008. Many people like to remember that. You're not a Lewis Hamilton fan? That's nicely done through turn 1, 2 and 2 and turn 3. He set himself up nicely there as Gavin heads towards the Retroposter. I finally figured out the name of that short straight. Go into 3rd gear to get the extra rotation, make the car turn him a bit more to get a better exit coming out of turn 4. Long right hander, I don't really like it myself because going out wide has caused me a lot of problems as well. People like Joost, who's running no assist, he needs to find his own preferences through there to make it his way around that long right hander. Turn the car in nicely there as he heads down into 1st gear to get the extra rotation through there, and he's some 2/10 up on his personal best, so hopefully he can carry the momentum through the last part of the lap. And where will he go? DRS activated, taking the tightest line, the shortest route, and that could have been a validation if he got any wider. It's at 8.3 and he's gone up into 4th place. Nicely done from Gavin there in the Renault. Sector comes to cross the line. He's up into 2nd place in 8.2. Look at that, there's 3 drivers in the 8.2s. It's very close between themselves as Patrick, he's a 10th down in the 2nd sector it says, but he's in the pits anyway, so it doesn't matter. Carlsberg comes across the line to start his flying lap time. Joost ahead of him as well, so he's trying to get the slipstream off of Joost as Sector's retired from the session, as Gavin retires as well. This will be Elting's last flying lap, so he has to make this count. If he doesn't make this count, he will be started down in 14th or 15th, depending if V8 Field could do the same thing. And V8 Field's backed off, and I think his qualifying is done at V8 Field. He's got some time, and Sam's been compromised by Sector. Sector caught napping there, but thankfully Sam's on his out lap, so not too much harm there done for Sam. I thought he was on his flying lap, so if I was Sam, I would be frustrated. Alan started his last flying lap time. I'm trying to figure out who's on their flying lap. Elting's on his flying lap, 16.7. There looks to be a little bit of a untidy lap from Elting, if I can put it that nicely. This is where he made his last mistake, but doesn't do the same thing. He patiently gets on the throttle and short shift as well to try and not get that wheel spin on the exit. 51.8, I don't know what the best lap time is on that. He climbs up the hill. This is the last corner effectively. and he will come across the line shortly to set a 108.1, and he's got up to second place, so finally got a lap time on the board, and he's placed himself on the front row with Alan Roy, who's on his flying lap time as well. Who's that? That's a Williams who's facing the wrong way round. Is that, who's that? That is the Williams of, I can't figure it out. Bryn? Was that Bryn? As Bryn's retired, so possibly Bryn, as Alan crossed the line, and he has not improved. He's in the .9s, but he didn't improve, and he's still on pole position, as Joost unfortunately has invalidated his lap time. And that is a Williams, by the way. That was Bryn YouTube. Hasn't got a YouTube channel, but another Williams has made a mistake somewhere, as Joost does not improve. Jonathan Cox, let's see what he could do as he heads towards the line. Simon crossed the line to be in 5th. Jonathan up into 3rd place. More pace shown by Jonathan Cox, and that is qualifying done. So that's an interesting qualifying, and Alan is your pole sitter. Sector is on a lap. Yep, I knew. But still, I was faster than Nav with no ABS, and I'm happy that I'm not so much slower with ABS off. I think ABS is a little bit quicker, but if you can get used to it. There is your man on pole. The Dutchman is on pole position ahead of Eltink in 2nd place. Eltink did start pole in Singapore. Jonathan Cox in 3rd place ahead of Sector 4th. Joost in 5th ahead of Sam. Shabby 2K in 7th place ahead of Gavin. Patrick in 9th ahead of Carlsberry. Bryn outside the top 10. Could go for the medium tyres if he wants to do the alternate strategy around here. Catboy Kai 12th. V8 Catboy Catname Minty. Rika. BJ. Jordan Poland. Jordan Poland and Harry Deacon in 18th place. That's qualifying done then. As we saw, loads of invalidations being set by quite a lot of drivers. Oh, it's heavy rain. That's interesting. Wow. Look at that. It's raining here in England just a bit. Look at Brazil. I didn't expect that whatsoever. I'm thinking about Alan Roy here because I would presume he's on a dry setup by setting a 7.9. I don't think you can, if you're on a wet setup, I don't think you can do a 7.9, but well, he might struggle depending how good he is in the rain and depending on what setup he's running, but that's very interesting then. As BJ, Jordan Polska and Hazardika is now in the session. We've got a long race ahead of us, 36 laps, and it is Brazil as well. Plenty of things happen here in Brazil. I was hoping for a dry race, but I was hoping for a wet qualifier session and a dry race, but all the way around for me. I think they're on the wet tyres, or they've got to be on the wet tyres. That's explaining why everybody qualified on the soft compound tyres, so nobody wanted to go on the not in the inters, nobody wanted to go on the mediums. The two Mercedes in last place. This is going to be very interesting then. This is the last race of the season, and I hope this last race of the season becomes very interesting. Hopefully, I really hope no one crashes in the first lap. You always will see some crashes in the wet conditions, or possibly in the dries, but I really hope these drivers play it smartly. I think there's 36 laps of the race. The first lap, second lap won't be good, but as the race starts to calm down just a bit, we'll see some good action. We've got some few drivers disqualified already. That's Hazardika and Rico already. Alan, Joost and Jordan, my prediction. Well, depending if Jordan can get clear of the traffic, he's down in 18th position, which is known as last. I hope Jordan has a good race for VRT. Bold predictions. We'll find out who's running a dry setup or wet setup then. Alan with a 7.9. I don't know if he's running a dry setup or not. That was a quick formation lap. I didn't expect it to go that quick. He's already headed towards the final corner. That's a really quick formation lap, bearing in mind this is a short track. Right, 36 laps ahead of us in this race then. Eltink has the inside line for this Brazilian GP. We saw Sebastian Vettel get ahead of Valtteri Bottas into Tier 1 in 2017. Let's see if Alan covers the inside line off, or depending if he gets a better start off the line. Sebastian Vettel went on to win that Brazilian GP as well. Hamilton did crash and qualified. All the drivers are lining up. There is your last place man in 18th position. Let's see if we can finish in this race. This is the last race of the season. Can Elton get a better start off the line? We shall find out in a few seconds time. We are underway for round 14 of the Brazilian GP. Looks like they get an even start off the line. So Elting still has the inside line. Can he go down the inside into turn 1? Alan has the outside line, but no. Alan keeps it covered around the outside, which has the inside line. Look at Jonathan Cox and Elting. Jonathan Cox trying to go down the inside. Sector stays ahead of Joost. Joost gets a bad exit coming out of turn 3. Look at that. He's absolutely struggling with traction and he's lost 3 positions. Could be 4 because Gavin's on his tail as well. Down the inside goes Gavin, but Joost outbreaks him into turn 4 and stays ahead up into 7th place. Sector goes off the track and Shabby will allow himself to come at him, but Sector has the inside line for the right-hander. So the top 3 remain where they are, but we had some contact down at the back, hopefully not major. Patrick is involved, so is Cat Minty in the Williams place. Is caught down in last place. Where's Jordan? Jordan's up into 10th place. Look at that. Carlsberry and his teammate going side by side. As Carlsberry stays ahead, but will Shabby fight back? No, not on this occasion. But what about the Mercedes down the inside of the Red Bull? So does the other Mercedes down the inside of the Racing Point. Both Mercedes making moves. That's Jordan and Sam. Hopefully they don't understeer into him, and he doesn't. Jordan up. Oh, down the inside, he crashed into him as well. Sam outbroke himself and spun himself around, and he's been hit again. Sam misjudged his braking zone and he almost took out Jordan, and Sector has retired. Sector's gone. Where has Sector gone? The virtual safety car has been deployed. Where has Sector dropped it? Sector, where is he? Oh, he's spun. Sector has dropped it at the final corner, possibly picked up too much throttle. That's Sam coming into the pits for sure. What about the Racing Point? The Racing Point did make contact, and that is Catboy Kai. The virtual safety car has been deployed, and Jonathan Cox is ahead of Elting. Interestingly, Elting was ahead of Jono. So what's happened there? Did he gain on the virtual safety car? We shall find out soon. Jordan Polska, what an amazing start! He's up 10 places already on lap 2. Brilliant driving from the Dutch driver as well. So this is amazing from Jordan Polska. Someone predicted him to be 3rd place or 2nd place. Looks like he could be headed there. He almost got took out by Sam. Sam spun himself around and Carlsberg's dropping positions as the virtual safety car has disappeared and we're off racing again. What's up, J Van Kessel? I think that's who's that going down the inside? Is that Gavin? Nope, it was. I thought I saw someone going side by side through there, but not on this occasion. This is difficult conditions, as Jonathan Cox and Elting are still fighting. He's climbed towards the hill. Exiting Jones out, and Elting has the slipstream. Will he go around the outside or inside? Looks like the outside, but we'll convert it to the inside line through turn 2. As they go side by side, coming into turn 1, they both make contact. Jonathan Cox loses the rear end, but keeps it, and that's Carlsberg through as well. A little bit of contact can cause massive consequences, and he's lost 1 place to Carlsberg. Joost is up there. What about Gavin? Gavin has a better exit coming out of turn 3. He's alongside Shabby 2K. Look at that, Jordan Polska. Down the inside he goes. The Alfa Romeo is still there. The Alfa not giving up, but he might have to give up on this occasion, and he lost 2 positions, so he might got a terrible exit coming out of turn 3. Look at that, Jordan's up the rear of Gavin. Let's hope he doesn't push him out of the way for sure, especially in these wet conditions. Look at that, not a place to go side by side, but he's going to force his way round. That's Joost trying to go around the outside of Jonathan Cox. And Jordan Polska is ahead of Gavin. So Jordan Polska on a mission here in Brazil. Made up 12 places in 3 laps. He's doing a Max Verstappen, is the Dutch driver. He has done a Webber. Yeah, Webber did do that, didn't he? I remember now, back in that 2012 race. Jordan Polska on a mission here. He's got Joost ahead of him, his Dutch friend. They're both fighting Jonathan Cox. But what about Carlsberg? He's all over the back of Elting. Looks like Alan has this one covered. Alan has this one covered, look at that. And he sets the fastest lap as well. Carlsberg will go down the inside into turn 1. Joost is ahead of Jonathan Cox, and he's made his way. He outbreaks himself. Elting, will he fight back? We'll have a better exit coming out of turn 2. This is turn 3 now, as Joost is ahead of Jonathan Cox. Jordan Polska is behind him too. Colesberry's made his move. He's up into second place ahead of Eltink. Eltink struggling here. And look at that. There's a Mercedes trying to go down the inside. Jonathan Cox stays with him. But Jordan Polska has that one covered and he's up into 5th place. So now he's 2 places away from the podium. He started down at 18th place and he's a man on a mission to try and get some decent results as well. Further back, what's happening further back? Not much, as we've still got 17 drivers in this race. Sam is last place, but never give up, Sam. We've still got plenty of laps to go. It's only lap 4, by the way. Out of lap 36, we've got plenty of laps to go. I never give up. He's looked like he's struggling at the moment, but we'll get off him to release the pressure. It was Vettel, mate. Oh yeah, it was Vettel. Hello, Alex. Hello, Alex, the aggressive driver. How are you? Very interested to see what the drivers could do in these wet conditions, the skill they have to put in, the amount of concentration. Look at that Mercedes that's a Williams, sorry, a Brig getting a terrible exit. That was a Mercedes, a BJ. BJ started down and we've got Spinner. That's Gavin and Jordan. They both crashed into each other. Gavin's lost his wheel and Jordan spun round. As Jordan's has retired from the session. That's a safety car. Oh dear, what happened there between Jordan and Gavin? Look at that, Gavin's lost his wheel. There he is in the Renault. Wow, we've seen many things happen in Brazil, and I don't know what's happened between Jordan and Gavin. Oh yeah, 2003. Yeah, I remember that one. Fernando Alonso got involved as well. As Jordan's left the session, we can see the Renault in the background, and the safety car has been deployed, which I did not see. The safety car has been deployed, and we can finally take a break from this race. So Yost is still in this race, but what happened to Gavin? What happened to Gavin and Jordan? That's very interesting. I want to know what happened straight away. Were they close to each other? I thought Jordan got past Gavin, did he? Did Gavin get a better exit? Did Jordan have a terrible exit coming out of Judd Sow? There's many questions to be asked unless I see the footage. I really want to see what happened through there because Sam's on the inters. That's interesting then. The Red Bull driver committing on the inter tyres, and it doesn't look like it does look like it's time for inters, does it not? It's not too wet out there for the wet tyres, but we'll find out soon if the driver's coming to the pits. Gavin, what happened, mate? Please tell me what happened. Join the party. My party is open, so come into the party and talk to me. As the drivers are starting to come into the pits. Yeah, so I think it's time for the inters. But Shabby stayed out. He made a late call to go into the pits. They stayed out. That's either a good idea or the terrible idea. You know what? He could, because look at that, there's Alpha teammates in the pits as well, so I don't think he wants to lose more time behind his teammate and lose more position, so I think it's wise for him to stay out there. His teammate was also in the pits, so apologies about that one. I was thinking why he made that move. BJ, our driver of the day from last week, down in 9th place. He did start down in 17th position. More drivers coming to the pits to change their tyres. Jordan was sideways on the track. Was he too aggressive on the thought of coming out of Judd Sow? Anyways, I'm going to go off into going to the toilet. You tried to avoid him and hit his rear. Yeah, so we've got a mixture of wets and inters. The people have not pitted on the wets. I presume their teammates was in the pits, so they didn't want to lose more track position. But Bryn, was his teammate? Yes, he was. No, yeah, cat named Minty. So I'm going to go off into the toilet. Welcome, Gavin. I'll talk to you soon. I'm just going to go off into the toilet.
Okay.
Bryn was disqualified from the session. I just joined back. What happened to Bryn, Gavin, if you're still there? Gavin, you still there? What happened to... Oh, I don't know if Gavin's here or not. Did he leave? I don't want to check. It's just to interrupt the blue screen. Yeah, Gavin is here. He's in the party, but he's not speaking in the moment. I don't know where he is. Have I got myself on mute? No, I haven't.
Oh, hello.
Oh, hello, Gavin. How are you?
Yeah, good. You?
Not too bad. So, did you... what setup were you running in the race then? Did you know it was going to be wet in the race?
Yeah. I was running dry setup.
A dry setup. So,
Yeah.
what's it going to be like towards the end of the race then? Is it going to stay like this? Is it going to be dry towards the end of the race?
It was gonna be dry at the end of the race.
What lap do you think?
25.
Lap 25. Interesting then. And what happened to you, by the way? At the exit of Judd Sow, did Jordan lose the rear end?
Yeah, he lost the rear end and he's like sideways. Don't know if he was trying to get off the racing line. I was trying to avoid him and hit his rear.
Ah, it's such a shame for both of you. Both of you in a high position now. What was you expecting from this race?
Don't actually really know. I think a top 7 was maybe possible.
A top 7. Well, off again after safety car restart. Carlsberry's under pressure as Joost. He goes down the inside. He takes a tight line through turn 1. Will Carlsberry outbrake himself? And Joost is ahead into turn 2 then. Any more overtakes being made behind? I think Catney Minty just survived off of Rika. Sam all over the back of V8 field. Sam's back in this race, by the way. Told you not to give up, and he's down in 13th position. But Elting has overtaken Carlsberry down the inside. Carlsberry has the outside line. Will he get pushed off the track? He gets squeezed, but not fully pushed off. I've got yellow to sector 2 again. And I think that's Carlsberry coming back. Not a place to go side by side, is it? Not really a place to go side by side, especially in the rain, but both of them stay on the track at least. As Carlsberry's not giving up, is he? Just trying to find a way past. Elting looking around the outside, down the inside, around the outside. Again on this corner, but he still can't quite make it. Catney Minty has overtaken Shabby 2K. And I think that was the Hasarika who made a mistake. That's why the yellow flags were out. So did V8 field, but look at the Alpha. That Carlsberry's not giving up whatsoever to turn 9, is he? Just staying around the outside. Once he will have to give up soon enough. He don't want to cause a mistake. Down he is on a John Sow. He gets pushed off the track. I don't think Elting was expecting it. Carlsberry's just not giving up whatsoever. But look at Joost ahead of us. He's on the back of Alan. So Alan has to keep an eye on him for company. And look at that. He's too far back. He's saving ERS as well as Joost sets the fastest lap of the race. But Carlsberry behind us goes down the inside. We'll watch on Jonathan Cox's point of view. Elting has the inside line. Carlsberry's sticking around the outside. He goes off the track. That'll be a warning for him for sure. That'll not help him whatsoever. Hopefully these two not. This is great action, by the way. But hopefully these two do not crash. They pushing each other off. Elting around the outside. He gets pushed off the track. There's not enough room, and Jonathan Cox will take the position, and he's up into 4th place. Unless Elting will try and send it down here, which he doesn't. Thinks wisely of it. So Gavin. Would you enjoy the race from that when you were in it?
What do you mean?
Would you enjoy the race?
Like commentate?
They're not commentating, but when you were in the race before you retired, would you enjoyed it?
Oh yeah, of course.
Was it difficult out there for you? Would you say?
Yeah, it was really difficult. I had no practice, and yeah, Brazil's always a tricky track in the rain. For me, it always rains, in quali or in the race itself. So yeah, we had rain in the race. So unfortunately we crashed.
And we can see Elting around the outside on top of the hill. Can he go? Can he outbrake him into turn 1? No, he's ahead of him before turn 1. So Jonathan Cox backs out of that one, and down the inside into turn 1 they go. The two racing points, Catboy Kai and Patrick, are close together as well. Carlsberry. Look at that, he's caught up to the top 2, sorry. How would you rate the season? How would you rate the season overall, Gavin?
Ooh, 7 or 8.
Have you enjoyed the races ever since you came in here?
Yeah, definitely.
What was you going to ask me before, because you said my name, but I interrupted?
I was trying to say, if you don't mind it, I'm gonna go, because I'm going to be Sam's engineer for the rest of the race. Tell
Sam I said good luck as well. And Sam is 2 tenths behind. Look at that, there's a massive few trainer cars close to each other involving Sam, Hazardika, Catboy Kai and Patrick. V8 feels just further back, so is Rika. See you in a bit, Gavin. Nice to talk to you.
Yeah, good luck.
You good luck too. So that was Gavin who was joining the party with me. Then nice to speak to him. The party's open for one more person if they want to join me and talk to me about this race or about the season. No, we've got some yellow flags, and that is, I don't know who it is, I can't really check right now because there's a battle going on for first, second and third. Altic has just set the fastest lap of the race as cat named Minty goes around the outside, but Shabby has it covered and he's ahead before turn 2. Right then, so there's a battle going on for first place. Gavin says it will dry up towards the end of the race. Lap 25 he says, and Jonathan Cox has retired, he's hit the wall. Jonathan Cox has hit the wall. There he is, the Haas driver. That's such a shame. I don't know if he got pushed there. I don't know if he had aquaplaning through the wet conditions, but he's hit the wall and he was doing such a good job as well, so that's unfortunately for him. Jonathan Cox is out of the race. Top 4, look at the top 4. This is going to be a very interesting race to watch. When will the virtual safety car end? Who will it play into the hands of? Because when the virtual safety car starts to end, look at Cosberry's eagerness to go around the outside. Look at that. Taking every advantage as he can, trying to put Yost under pressure as much as he can and try and force it into a mistake. Trying to let Yost, he knows he's there. And look at that, to get a beautiful launch coming out of John Sau, but did Yost leave enough room? Did he know he was coming? And now the side by side coming out of John Sau, but look at that, Yost has much better straight line speed than Cosberry. A tag slap on the exit, that's really unfortunate, Jono. And look at that, Cosberry. Not enough room to go down the inside of turn 2, but he'll slot in and wait for the slipstream. Or wait for these two to make a mistake. Alan Poole has been leading this race the whole time. Yost is alongside him. And Alan now breaks it. Oh, he gets a thump up the back. I even felt that. My controller vibrated because I got a thump up the back by Cosberry. Cosberry's just not giving up. Look at that. He's going to use every single part or off the track to get past Yost. He's not giving up whatsoever, is he? They're so close. These cars are sensitive and one little tap can force your car into a spin. Gotta be very careful in these wet conditions. Still side by side. This is beautiful racing from Cosberry as Yost covers the inside because Altic tried to go down the inside, but Yost has that one covered. I tried to go down the inside of Cosberry himself. Look at that, just hanging on to each other in those corners. This is going to be very tight as Altic gets past Yost. Yost is boxed in between Altic and Cosberry. As Altic has to conceal the place to Yost. Look at that, they're still side by side. This is beautiful racing. Hopefully no contact made between the two. Cosberry, aggressive driver, of course. I've raced with him in another league. He's put me under so much pressure. You can see the sun peeping out behind the clouds. Look at that, going out wide, and that's allowing Altic to get closer and closer and closer. Will he try and make a move down the Retroposter, coming into turn 4? No, he goes out wide himself, and Cosberry stays in 4th place. BJ, by the way, could be catching up to these top 4. I think he is catching up. So we'll keep an eye on him as well as he progresses his way. And Patrick has a DK, Catboy Kai. Sam's dropped a little bit back towards those drivers. It's been an interesting race so far, and it's lap 13. Been a beautiful race. This is a good last race of the season. The top 4 are having a mega fight up there, and yet again the top 4 are still in contact with Alan. So Alan not really benefiting or pulling away from those drivers fighting with each other. We expect Alan to pull away. With these two fighting so much, massive wheel spin for both drivers, Yost and Cosberry almost dropping it at Judd Sau. Massive wheel spin for them both as they apply the throttle, the amount of throttle input they're taking to the car. The rears are not allowing it, it's making them slide away. As BJ dropped back a little bit, 1.9 seconds is the gap now. What about the guys behind? They're in a little bit further away from each other. You know me, I like to give everybody a little bit of screen time, no matter who it is. I like to give everybody screen time. I don't really like to focus on the top 4 too much. As you notice in other leagues, I spectate everybody as much as I can. Everybody has got a little bit of a screen time as Joost almost drops it at the top of the hill. They're always fighting on edge of these drivers. Turn 10. And look at Carlsberry's on his around the outside. He's done it. Turn 11. That is turn 11. Coming through turn 12. John Sao. And Elting's there, but BJ would expect him to close up despite these drivers fighting. Oh, he almost hits the wall. He's got to be very careful not to do that. BJ, you would expect him to close up. 2.3 seconds. He's dropping back further and further as Joost has made the overtake. Down the inside into Carlsberry. Oh, he's fighting back, is he? Isn't he? Carlsberry's fighting back. It's still side by side. The big contact. The car controls these drivers have. And I think Cat named Minty, has made a mistake because the yellow flags were out. Look at this. None of them are giving up, are they? Joost around the outside. Now Carlsberry's back. Joost is forced off the track. Elting will take advantage. And oh, big hit. Oh. He's hit the wall. He's going to rejoin the track. Oh, BJ has to take evasive action. As Joost has left the session in rage quit. So. And Shabby 2K has overtaken BJ. That's really a shame to see. Not all we could have fight for first place. You could have fight for the midfield as well. I can't really say much because I've done it myself. If I spin, I tend to leave the session or retire from the session or rage quit. So I can't really say much myself. Because when you fight for the top of the charts and you bottle it, you don't really want to end up behind the midfield and you want to leave the session and fight. I understand that because it happens to me a lot of times. As Patrick has overtaken Joost, but Joost is a ghosted car. If the safety car does come out, someone tell Joost to get back in the session and race. That's relieved the pressure of Alan Carlsberry. I think they just need to give enough space between each other because it's way too much and too aggressive. Carlsberry is dropping back behind Alan. Let's hope BJ can overtake Shabby 2K. BJ had to take evasive action off the track because Joost was facing the wrong way round. Look at that. Hazardika is behind Patrick. Go down the inside into turn number 4. Does it shut him off completely and he's made the move nice as stick. Well done to Harry Deacon. It is supposed to dry up in a few laps time. Sam's nicely in the points as well. Sam is down in 8th place. There's V8 Field coming down to Sigo de Largo. We'll go on board with Patrick and then Hazardika then. So Patrick, not really talked about him much in the race. We did see him have a few battles with his own teammate. His own teammate's behind Joost, but he's a ghosted car anyway, so it won't really affect him. So Hazardika is struggling and John Sao will allow Patrick to get closer and closer to him. It's been a really fascinating race, hasn't it, in the Brazilian GP. Unfortunately, we don't see the MNT boys of Nathan, Louis and all of them join the session. I don't know where they went. Look at that. Sam's getting closer to them as well. I'm pretty sure Sam will love the dry conditions to come very quickly because I think he's running a dry setup, but he has been struggling in the rain as well. Yet again, Patrick is way too far back to make a move on Hazardika. When he gets to the dry stages of the race, that'll be when it's very interesting. God knows how Big got disqualified. Apparently someone told me that he blocked the pit lane, so I don't know if he spun there or not. Oh no, we got yellows to set to 2, and who's that? Nobody. It's Sam! Sam has dropped it! There he is. I hope he hasn't got any front wind damage. As V8 Field has got past Sam and he's struggling, but Sam, hold on there, buddy. The dry conditions are coming. Just hold on for another few laps. You know what the Brazilian GP is like. As Elting's in the pits, it has stopped raining, but Elting, he's got a penalty for speeding in the pit lane there. It has stopped raining, but it's a bit too early, don't you think? It'll be very, very... the medium tyres are on that car, but don't you think it's a bit way too early? Well, the Brazilian GP dries up very quickly, and that's when it plays into people's hands. Like Sam, he can get off those inters and get on the dry tyres. The medium tyres are applied onto Elting's car and Hazardika's car. Catboy Kai is in the pits as well. V8 Field's in the pits, so is Sam. Let's see who... I think these two will come in the pits at the exact same time. I don't think one of them wants to stay out there for another lap on these inter tyres. Mind you, we've got both Alfa Romeos on the podium step. Shabby 2K struggling just a bit. Elting right behind Patrick, but he's on those medium tyres, so we'll find out which tyres are better. But Patrick, we just opened the door and allowed Elting to just come through. Nice and easy. Right. Yep, Alan's in the pits, but one of the Alfa Romeos will have to stay out, which will be Shabby 2K, because he didn't want to get hold up behind Cosberry. He stays out for another lap. BJ's in the pits. He'll try and do the undercut on Shabby 2K and try and get that position back he lost due to taking evasive action off the track. As Alan Wars on the soft compound tyres, I think he can make it. I see Mickey Litzy do 18 laps on the soft compound tyres. It wasn't Mickey, it was someone else. I can't remember who it was, but I saw someone do 18 laps on the softs, so I think he can go to the end on those softs. If he can't, his tyres will drop off. We'll find out. Elting comes out and he stays in 13th position, third position. Sorry. Where's Carsberry? He comes out on the medium compound tyres. BJ's got ahead of Carsberry. How's that happened then? They were far apart. Did Carsberry change his full wing? Did he get a penalty? Did he serve his penalty in the pits? We don't know. It was a very long pit stop, and BJ is ahead on the soft tyres as well. Patrick comes out ahead, no, behind of his teammate Catboy Kai. Yost comes out, he's on the dry tyres, and he's left the session anyway. V8 Field is behind Sam. I think Sam's just got past V8 Field, I didn't see that happen. And V8 Field has DRS on the back of Sam, but I think he's a bit too far back to make a move on him. You expect Alan to pull away, don't you? Instead of Elton closing up on him, but is DRS now enabled? It should be, yes it is. You would expect Alan Ward to just pull away a bit, but instead, and Sam's got past Joe's, but he's a ghosted car anyway. Down the inside from a long way back is the Red Bull driver. He's been pushed off the track, has Alan Ward. Was that really an opportunity to make an overtake? Was it really worth it? He's weaving on the straight for some reason, probably saying sorry. I don't know why he's weaving. Carsberry's on the back of BJ. You would expect these soft runners to pull away, don't you? Instead of the medium runners just... But bearing in mind the slipstream is quite strong around here and effective, so that's why they stayed in contact with them. Elting all over. Alan's in AI. Why is Alan in AI? Well, that's very interesting then to why Alan is in AI mode. So is Elting. Both drivers are in AI. You can tell by the... Yeah, the AI usually does that. Why are they in AI mode for? Well, I don't know why they're in AI mode, but it's allowed BJ to get a little bit closer towards them too. Did they message each other in the race? That's really, really strange to see. When you're fighting for a lead and you go into pause menu to message each other. I think Elting might be apologising to Alan. Yeah, he doesn't do it again, so I think it was an apology that Elting sent to Alan. Carsberry getting closer to behind BJ. Are the soft tyres effective around here? Because the medium tyres looks like they're better at this stage for some reason. I don't know how. Or are the soft runners conserving their tyres? Carsberry goes around the outside, but BJ comes back at him. Carsberry off the track yet again, so is BJ, and he overtakes him off the track. Let's see if Patrick can make a move on his teammate. There they are, both racing points in 7th and 8th, as Sam sets the fastest V8 sets the fastest lap of the race. BJ is still fighting with Cosberry. Didn't see that happen. There they are, going side by side through the slow corners, and Cosberry stays ahead of BJ. We exit Junsao. Can Elton get a decent exit coming out of Junsao? I would love to know what happened between those two. Why they were both in AI at the same time. And now DRS is now activated. Let's see if Elton can make a clean move this time. Alan sets the fastest lap of the race. He doesn't go for it again. So he's just biding his time and probably saying sorry to Alan LOR. BJ, does he want to go down the inside? He tries to try and force it to a mistake, but Carlsberg's not falling for that one. Further behind is Patrick, closer to Catboy Kai, but I can't really watch this battle because BJ's still behind Cosberry. Down the inside he goes into turn 4. He's made the move stick, but Patrick's overtaken his teammate Catboy Kai. Both racing points changing positions to 7th and 8th. As Joost is rejoined the session for some reason. So I think Joost had a little bit of a moment there. Probably rage quit, then calmed down and rejoined the session. So thank God he's back. He's still in the points, so decent. No, he's not in the points. But he's not too far away from Catboy, Catname Minty and Rika. As Catname Minty has set the fastest, has got a 3-second time penalty. Cosberry's still behind BJ, coming out of Junsao. Gets a better exit. Oh no! I hate to see that. I really hate to see that. And the virtual safety car has been deployed. I don't have no words to describe that. All I could say, that was probably embarrassing to watch. Cosberry comes into the pits. I have no words to describe that whatsoever. I'm really shocked actually. I don't know why. I'll put the blame on BJ because he cut across him and put them both in the wall. I'm a friend of BJ, but sometimes you just gotta blame your friends for doing the wrong mistakes. You can't always blame. You gotta be real about it and blame the right person. For Joost's sake, he wishes the safety car came out as BJ's left the session. Alright then, so Eltink's still over the back of Alan LOR, that rear wing, and he goes off the track. The understeer and the dirty air, and he gets a penalty as well. The dirty air he is having behind Alan LOR not really helping him, but he's very close on this occasion, and he'll probably send it down the inside, all around the outside, because Alan's defending that one. Making Elton go the long way round into turn 1, but Alan has it covered because he brakes later than him. But Elton gets a better exit coming out of turn 3. You expect Alan to get a better exit on those soft tyres, and you expect him to pull away as well. And goes round the outside. To see the Largo. Oh, hopefully they don't make contact. That's rather tight through there. You've got 12 laps of this race to go. It was raining earlier this stage of the race. I wonder why the soft tyres are not really working for these drivers. Are they saving the tyres to sure they can go to the end, or are they just generally struggling because the soft riders not really showing their pace? Seems like the medium tyres are better than the softs for some reason, as Joost is on the hard compound tyres. Interesting. Right then, Eltink on the back of Alan. And Tim will have the outside line. No, Alan outbrakes him again into turn 1, so it prevents it prevents Eltink from going around the outside or in the inside. But he can get a better exit as Joost has got a 5-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane again. Eltink gets a much better run off of turn 3, coming into turn 4. And yet again, Alan outbrakes him. This is beautiful racing, but it gets a better exit. I don't know what happened to Alan there. Now coming into turn 6, the long right-hander. And Carlsberg sets the fastest lap of the race on those brand new set of soft tyres. There's a decent battle going on for first and second place. And Patrick's right behind Catname Minty. He's on the soft tyres. And he's made the move a cat named Minty, sorry, very easily. Catboy Minty, where is he? He's up into, where is he, Catboy Minty? No, Catboy Kai is up into 5th place. I got confused again. Right, which way will he go? Inside or outside? You choose. I don't think he's going to go either because he's saving the DRS. Or unless he's trying to force it to a mistake into turn 1, which he doesn't. But yeah, he comes into a cute angle and carries less speed through the corner in turn 2, does Alan. That's allowed Alton to get all over the back of him. Which way are you going to choose? Going to choose the inside line again this time. I think it's the first time he'll go down the inside, but it doesn't choose to. So I think he was trying to make Alan outbrake himself, but he didn't do that. Alan's too smart to do that. This is a very interesting battle going on for first and second. Nice and clean between the two. And Patrick is on the back, or coming towards the back end of Rika as well, so we're keeping an eye on that battle between those two. Like I said, I give everybody a bit of screen time. Not always the top runners I give screen time. I like to give everybody a bit of screen time. That's just me, that's just my, it's just natural for me. I won't miss the important battles, of course. Alan, look at that, losing a lot of performance on the straight. And look at that, it should be easy for Elting, but this time he has to go around the outside. As the inside line comes into a tight corner, a tight angle, sorry, as Patrick has made the move on Rika. Go back on board with the top two then. As they head down into turn 4. Elting gets wide off the track. I don't want to say he got pushed off the track, I didn't really see it. Look at that, lovely shot there. This is beautiful side-by-side racing from the two drivers. The American versus the Dutchman. Look at the switchback. Hopefully no Alex Albon or Lewis Hamilton. Look at that, he's got ahead, but Alan will try and do a switchback. No, he can't. But this time Alan will have the DRS for the first time. Carlsberg picks up a penalty, it says on our screen. This time Alan has enough ERS to carry that momentum down on the straight. Carlsberg sets the fastest lap of the race. And Alan takes his place back up into first place as Elting has a slight lock up into turn 1. Try and prepare himself for a lovely exit without turn 1 into turn 2 and turn 3. And now on the Retroposter. Which way is he going to go? Which way is he going to go? Around the outside, but there's not enough room. I don't know what he's trying to do there. Patrick's next target is V8 field. If he can catch up towards the back of him, around the outside again. This time they reverse roles. It was Alan around the outside, but this time it's Elting around the outside. Alan goes down the inside. This is lovely racing from the two. I really enjoy watching this. I really hope these two don't make contact. I think contact will be made, but not enough. Just a slight nudge or something like that. As Alan stays ahead. Oh, contact, like I said. Not really harmful for the drivers to cause go off into the barriers or get any forward damage. Shabby 2K 1.8 seconds. It was 3 seconds, now it's 1.8. Look at the time he's gained on the top two. I've also kept an eye on Shabby 2K to see if he was gaining, and he is gaining and gaining. And he will be involved in the battle between these two soon. Elting around the outside into turn 1. Alan has the inside line. Elting rides the curb to get a better exit out of turn 1, turn 2, and set himself up to turn 3. Now he has DRS again. Switches to the inside line. This time doesn't break early to force Alan to a mistake, and he's done it. No, has he done it? No, he hasn't. Alan's still there. This is beautiful racing from the two. Really enjoyed watching this. This has been a lovely end towards this has been a lovely second part of the race. However, the more these two battle, it will allow this guy in third place to just catch up and catch up and catch up, which he's been doing. This is the reason why he's catching up, because these two have been fighting too much throughout this race. The second part of the race, these two have been glued together. North, South and North Pole magnet there. They can't get off each other. Alan on 10 lap old softs. I wonder how he's doing on those soft tyres. Oh, they started to fade away just a bit. Which way will Eltink decide to go? Will he want the inside or outside? Switching to the inside line. Trying to do a Sebastian Vettel routed Bottas in Spain. Trying to confuse him which way to go. He's a lock up into turn 1, does Eltink. Alan has problems saving his ERS. He's saving his ERS because he's on low. And he has been dropped into second place. But no, he goes out wide as Eltink. Eltink having problems with his braking there to turn 4. And he's dropped, but he's alongside him again. This is beautiful racing. I hope none of them cause an incident with each other. Leaving each other enough room and respect. And probably... But I've noticed the gap between third place. Look at that, it's right behind him. It's down the inside. Goes Eltink. We can finally watch the point of view of Eltink. I'm at Shabby 2K. As they come towards turn 12 in Judd South, as Patrick's overtaking VA Ford. With DRS as well for help of him. Keeping on the top 3 then. Alan will be under pressure. Now, strange decision for Eltink to come in the pits as he's got a 5-second... Why is he retired? Right then, that's strange. Why did he retire? What? That's rather strange. I don't know why he retired. He had no front wing damage whatsoever. He had no front wing damage and he's retired. That's given 2 Alfa Romeos a podium. As Carsberry is overtaken, has a decut. That's rather strange. I don't know why he retired from the session. Was he getting too frustrated behind Alan? I really need to know why he retired from the session because that's very strange. Carsberry is the most... Oh. Yeah, he's a bit aggressive, isn't he, Yost? I feel so bad for you, Yost. You're doing a good job. And there's yellows who set to 2 for some reason. Nobody causing it. Needs to work on saving that ERS to Shabby. Well, so does Alan as well. They're both on low. And he's compromised himself through turn 1, turn 2 and turn 3. That's not going to help his case whatsoever because it's allowing Alan to just pull away. The more he makes mistakes, the more Alan will pull away. He just needs to be careful as well. Why is he using ERS? He needs to save ERS on this straight. There's no point of using it. It's all about strategy with ERS as well. You can't afford to use it when you don't have to. Meanwhile, Sam's catching up to Catboy Kai. Is Yost a ghost to drive? Yes, he is. He's also out of the session. Why did Eltink retire from the session? That's rather curious to why he did that. Don't use it, put it down into 0, I presume here. You don't want to use it. You want to save as much as you can, ready for the straight. As Catnamed Minty has overtaken Rika. As Sam's closing up behind Catboy Kai. The other Catboy, there he is, the racing point of the Red Bull close together. We try and force him into a little bit of a mistake, will Catboy Kai. I mean Sam. They come down into turn 10, turn 11. Meanwhile, Rika's still at the back of Catnamed Minty, the other Catboy. Coming out of John Sal, Catboy Kai doesn't get the best of exits and he will be vulnerable on the straight to Sam, having the slipstream and DRS. Should be an easy move for Sam. As they head down into turn 1, he's made the move up into 5th place. We can see Rika and Catnamed Minty. Rika's dropped back just a bit outside the 1 second range. There's 3 laps to go of this race. Been a really interesting, eventful race. It's got to be said. Heavy rain to this. And we have lost from this race Eltink, BJ, Jonathan Cox, Jordan Polska, Gavin, Sector, Bin YouTube and Yost. Can Catboy Kai stick with Sam? It looks like the battle between first and second is over, unfortunately. But yet again, Shabby 2K needs to work on saving EOS. Why put it down into 4? He needs to save that EOS. He can't afford to put it down into 4 at this particular part. Especially when you're not really fighting them. You just need to... Yost is just at the fastest lap of the race. I didn't even know he was still in the session. And... Well, of course he's going to set the fastest lap of the race. Because it's easier for me to pronounce Jari instead of just calling him by his full name. What do you want me to call him? BJ Bjorn? I don't know how to pronounce it. Is it Bjorn? Bjorn? I don't know. Tell me if I say it right. Is it Bjorn or Bjorn? I don't know. He likes being called BJ. He doesn't mind being called BJ, he said. I even messaged him because I knew I was saying it wrong. If you want me to, I can call him LR if you want me to, and I'm joking, I won't be calling him that. 2 laps to go this race, and I think Alan will have this one covered unless penalties will kick in, or just go check right now. He's got a penalty, but what about Shabby? 1 warning, penalty, yeah, so this could be a straight fight towards the end there, no penalties would be involved. It's a Dutch one too, Carlsberg in 3rd place, with another 3-second time penalty. Oh, Sam has misjudged his lines through turn 2 when he went off in turn 3. Hasn't affected him too much, but he'll probably pick up a warning for that. Now in the game, not allowed to make mistakes, are you? This game says. Cat name Minty down in 9th place in the Williams. Just having a peaceful race down in 9th place. V8 field struggling in qualifying but not setting a lap time. Well, he did, I think, at the end. And he's up into 8th place, just on his own and rather quiet for him. Patrick down in 7th. Catboy Kai in 7th place. Patrick did pit on the virtual safety car. That's why he's behind his teammate. Bjorn. Is that how I say it? Bjorn? Well, on the last lap of this Brazilian GP, it's been an eventful race. It's been a very interesting race between Shabby 2K, Carlsberg, Alan, Bjorn, Yost and all them. We can see if the Ferrari of Hazard Deacon at the Restra Posta or the Sigo de Largo. And your race winner will be crossed the line shortly. There he is. Alan Ward's done an outstanding job and finally got his revenge from Singapore, and he crossed the line to finish in 1st place. Shabby 2K will finish in 2nd place. Both Alphas will be on the podium, unless, depends how many penalties he's got, he might not do. Carlsberg coming towards the final corner. Who's that? Is that Yost? Yes, it is. Carlsberg will finish in... Depends how many penalties he's got. He's got a 5-second time penalty. I think it has a deco take the podium. And he will. He takes the podium on his debut for LOR. Sam's crashed. Sam has crashed, but it doesn't matter anyways. Catboy Kai will finish 5th. Sam's in 4th. Carlsberg in 6th. Carlsberg in 6th. Look how many penalties he's got. Patrick in 7th. V8 field in 8th place. Cat name Minty in 9th. And Vika will finish in 10th place with no EOS. That is it then. That's an eventful Brazilian GP. The last race of the season. Justice from Singapore. Finally got what you wanted. This season's been thriller except the Australian GP, but this season has been an absolutely amazing season. I really hope we can have more races like this at midday. I don't really join midday leagues, but for a favour from a friend, I thought I'd commentate for him. It's been a really amazing season. Hopefully we can have another season like this again. That's your race winner. Alan War finishes in first ahead of Shabby 2K. Hazard Deacon in third place ahead of Sam. Catboy Kai in fifth place ahead of Patrick in sixth. Carlsberg in seventh ahead of Rika. Catname Minty in ninth place ahead of V8 Field. There's your retirees. 12th downwards as Joseph will finish in 11th place. As been YouTube got disqualified from the session. I don't know why. You got disqualified on lap 7. Well, that was a very interesting race to watch and commentate over. I really hope Bjorn and all of them did not crash with each other. You should be happy about that. Your debut in a difficult race. You survived the wet conditions. You survived the race. You did an amazing job. So I'm really proud of you as well. So good job for that. As Gavin leaves the session, he crashed very early in this race, didn't he? But he was helping Sam, which was very nice of him to help Sam. That is it then. That's the Brazilian GP done, and we'll see you next time out at 1 o'clock next week on Sunday.